back for another episode of the Sports and Stuff podcast. We got another rising sophomore in the Valley of Phoenix. We got TayVion Wilson from Kellis High School out in Glendale, Arizona. Appreciate you coming on this Sunday. How's your weekend been? How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me. It's been pretty good. How about yours?
My Seahawks won today, so it's a pretty good day. But my fantasy football team is not doing too well right now. So appreciate you coming on, man. You've had a big summer and getting a lot of recognition. How was the summer for you? How's fall league been for you? And kind of just give us an update on what it's been like for you basketball wise these last couple of months.
The summer's been pretty good. I think I've grown very better than last year. I think I've grown, got a lot more recognition, and gotten a lot better over the summer for sure.
Did y'all play in Section 7
Yeah.
this past summer? How was that for you guys? Tell us maybe about a couple of the games you guys had and just kind of the all-around experience for you.
Section 7 as a whole, it was a great experience. Obviously, all the college coaches and stuff. As a team, we didn't do too good because we just didn't click at the time. But yeah, it was okay as a team. But the experience was amazing.
I of course wasn't there. I'm going to be there next year. But was it kind of surreal for you walking in there? The first time. I know it's in the Cardinal Stadium, and there's like 8 courts, 10 courts set up. Pretty wild. What was it like for you walking in the first time? And just tell me what it was like when you first walked into the arena.
So I played there like my 8th grade year going into freshman. I played Section 7 that time too. That time, like, I was super nervous, like it was scared. But this year it was the same thing, but not really as much nervous because I already played there and I knew it was gonna be like.
So you play at Kellis. You were playing as a freshman last year. Got to watch a lot of your tape these past couple of days. You're another great shooter and can space the floor really well, have a really good driving game as well. Unfortunately, you guys finished 10-16, but you were in definitely a tougher region with the likes of Centennial, Apollo, and Ironwood, of course, Centennial being the state champion. How do you feel you guys did as a team against the guys you went up against?
As a team, like some of the games we would play like great. It just would be last second. We just wouldn't pull it off. And then sometimes we just wouldn't click that night and lose by a lot. But I think like we could have came together a lot more and won a lot more if we really just locked in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I got your schedule up right now. You had a big loss against Boulder Creek to start off the year, 90-52. But then y'all went on a 5-game win streak. And I'm sure that felt really good for you guys. Confidence was going. Who was kind of in your mind the toughest matchups and some of maybe the toughest things you guys went up against as a team last year?
The toughest matchups probably were Ironwood. Ironwood was really good.
What were kind of the struggles? Y'all finished 10-16. You guys were able to make the playoffs, I'm assuming, right? Oh, you guys didn't?
Yeah.
So what were some of the toughest challenges you felt like you guys ran into that you're hoping not to run into this upcoming year?
Just a lot of like laziness and people like not giving it their all, like on the court and in practice, just like goofing off. We just like really need to lock in this year because it was a lot of that last year.
Yeah, you guys had that big win streak against teams like Washington, Westwood, Westview, Agua Fria, and Camelback. Won on a little bit of a losing streak, had tough games against Peoria and Desert Mountain, got a big win against Glendale 84-41, and then finished a couple more losses, couple good wins against like Cactus Shadows and Desert Edge. But what are you hoping to see from you guys this upcoming year? What's kind of been the mentality and practices and fall league, and what's kind of the message your coaches have been sending you this leading up to the season starting in just about a month or so?
Coaches have been just saying like none of that goofing off again, and like we really got to lock in, and like the games, like when we're playing not so good teams, we got to pit them away early so we can set the tone. We're coming this year for something different for sure.
What was the biggest achievement you guys felt like you did? You had a 40+ win, double-digit wins all around. You played great. You had a handful of 20-point performances yourself. But as a team-wise, and then we'll get to you, but as a team, how do you feel what was your biggest achievement you felt you accomplished last year?
I feel like because in the past, Kellis hasn't been so good. I feel like we're taken another step up, and last year put us one more step closer to being way better than what we have been in the past, for sure.
So you were able to play club ball, I'm assuming, this summer. Who did you play with, and what were some of the tournaments and stuff you played in this summer?
I played on EYBL with the syndicate. So we played EYBL the whole sessions, all sessions.
So I would love to hear about that, because I have been a big fan of EYBL, and I'm sure you are not going to know any of these guys, but when I was in 8th to like 10th grade, guys that were in the EYBL were like Ivan Rabb and Steven Zimmerman, and those guys were straight killers. Boo Williams was a big team. Is the New Jersey Players still a team too?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, those were some of the teams that were like big and players and big in when I was in high school. What was EYBL like for you? Because I know it is completely different.
Yeah, EYBL was insane. You're playing against the best players in the country every single game. Like, it's no rest days, and just the experience and all. Because like every time you went to, it's a big like arena, and you're playing in front of so many college scouts. But it was definitely an amazing feeling.
Was your team able to play in Peach Jam? I know that's the creme de la creme. You weren't able to.
Peach Jam.
How was it though for you? What were some takeaways? You're going into your sophomore year now, so as a freshman, I'm sure it's kind of intimidating having to go into these places, play against guys that are at the top of their game, just like you are. But yeah, what were some lessons you learned throughout the EYBL process this summer?
Definitely some lessons, like get better at defense, because all guys can really play, and just like really like expand your game more than just being like, because like last year I was more of just like a shooter, so you definitely got to have more of a game than just being a shooter.
So what things have you focused on this off season? You talk about, having to come up and show up on the defensive side of the ball, for club, but what are some things you have focused on this past summer, this past off season, to make a big statement year this sophomore season for you?
Definitely being more of a point guard. Like the whole fall league, I was bringing up the ball every time. Like I wasn't really being a two. And so just passing all that, what a point guard would do is pretty much.
How would you say you played in the fall league? I was able to watch, your summer mixtape, your freshman mixtape. And like you're saying, you're a big knockdown shooter. You're able to, I feel like, space the floor pretty well for your guys, create for others beside you too. But now coming into that point guard role, that is a big job. I talked to Caden about it too the other day. And, having good court vision, being able to see when your teammates are open on that backdoor cut or coming around from the corner from the three, it's a big responsibility to have, especially at your age too. How important do you feel like it's going to be that lead point guard for Kellis this year?
It's definitely going to be important because, me and AJ, if you know who AJ is, he's another point guard. So me and him, AJ, you don't know?
No.
Well, yeah, he's our other point guard. And so it's definitely going to be a big role to come off and be able to hit my guys for sure.
How would you describe how Kellis has played? I haven't really been able to watch like full games of the full team. I've only been able to, of course, watch you. How would you describe how your team plays, the style your coaching staff brings to you, and what will we see from all of you guys this upcoming year?
I think we play great. Just like at times we fall and it hurts us at times. Like coming out in the second half, we play very bad. I've noticed that. So we'll like have those spurts and then we have to fight our way back. And sometimes it's not enough. But this year, I think definitely we're going to try and change that, come out of the second half a lot better. And we'll definitely try to make it to playoffs this year for sure.
You're 6 foot, looked as one of the rising sophomores in the state of Arizona. What will we see from TayVion Wilson this year?
You guys will see a lot of me being a point guard and passing, a lot of passing for sure. And just looking for my guys and trying to be a better teammate as a whole and be a leader.
I want to ask you, I don't know if you've been able to spend time with any of these guys, but, you see the likes of Ty, Dallin, and even Jalen too, all guys that played in Arizona, not just prep, but even in AIA, which you are. how did it feel, for you? I love asking you guys this. When you see guys like those three and even more before, like even DeAndre Ayton and even Marvin Bagley, what kind of feelings do you get being able to see guys from this area of the country being able to make it at the level that they are?
It makes me feel good because, Arizona is like always looked upon like we're soft and we just not all that. So it's definitely making me feel better, like more comfortable. Like we have some cats going into the league now, and it's going to be a lot more talent coming out of Arizona and making it to the league.
How do you feel all around, at least from what I've seen in the last, like I was able to broadcast a lot of high school games last year, and being able to even cover it more deeply, being able to do this podcast with guys like you and all the ones I've had on. There are some real ass players coming out of here. You might not see them in the league, but they're going to make some statements. They're going to make some noise. How would you feel Arizona basketball is looked at? You talked about you guys are looked at as a little bit soft, depending on where you live. I know Scottsdale is a big place where people will say, oh, a lot of soft people live in Scottsdale. A lot of people, and we'll get to this question next, they talk about how they're a dog, how, they're coming to kill you in whatever way they can on the court. How would you feel though Arizona basketball is? How do you feel like it's portrayed, and how would you describe Arizona basketball?
Arizona basketball, I feel like we're just looked at as like we're not like we're playing a team from Cali. They feel like they're just gonna blow us out. They already come with that mindset. It's gonna be an easy game. But I feel like it's like recent times is like they're like, okay, we got to start looking at them as it's gonna be a tough game. Like they're getting a lot better from Arizona.
I don't think you guys are playing in hoop hall. I know that's coming up though in the next couple of months. Are you going to be attending? I know there's going to be a lot of, unfortunately this year they made it to where a lot of teams in California are going to be playing. And I think that's kind of crappy to do that when you're hosting in Arizona. But I know a big matchup, I think is Mikey Williams is taking on, I think it's Koa and Cody and the rest of the Perry guys. Is there anybody, are you going to hoop hall? And if you are, is there anybody you're excited to go see play?
Yeah, I'll for sure be there. And I haven't really looked at the schedule, so I don't know who's all playing in it, but I'm for sure look into it and see who I'm going to go see play.
The only other matchup I know that's playing is Brophy is playing Notre Dame with Dusty and Caleb Foster. So I'm sure that'll be a pretty entertaining game. But let's get back to you and what we can expect. What's one word you would say best describes how you play?
Unselfish, for sure. Unselfish.
I would love for you to elaborate on that, because that's one of the ones I've heard that not many people have said how they play. So I would love to hear why you would say you play unselfish.
Unselfish just because like I don't look to score that much. Like I'm not gonna force anything. I'm gonna make the right pass before I try to throw up a bad shot, if anything, and just look for my guys more.
So you averaged 10.5 a game, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, and a steal. But you had, again, multiple 20-point performances. I got your schedule or your like stats up here. It's like 12, 11, 20, 10, 17, 11, 12, like you're saying, I'm seeing the like 3 assists, 6 assists, things like that. So with those stats, do you have any goals or any like per game stats you are hoping to reach by the end and we see your per game stats at the end of the season. Is there any goals you want to be able to achieve as a player this year?
Definitely like 15 to 20 points, 5 assists, and 3 steals for sure. Again, that's my goal for sure.
You guys have a tough schedule again this year, just with the division and region you are in. Let me get this up so we can see some of the guys you're playing. To start it off, y'all got Highland, Buckeye, Peoria, Apollo, Central, Paradise Honor, Centennial, and LJCHS. I don't know who that is. But okay. I've never even heard of that school before, so I'm glad you said that. Is there anybody you're looking forward to playing against? There's a lot of young talent. I know Emory and Centennial will be another tough one. The guys at Ironwood I know will be a tough team to play against. Sunrise has got some guys. Willow Canyon is a well-coached team. Is there anybody team-wise you are excited to play against this upcoming year?
The game I'm most excited for is definitely the Peoria game because that's our rival. We play them in football every year. We play them in basketball every year. And it's like the girls play, you know how boys play at home, girls will play away?
Yeah.
For us, it's girls play at like 5:30 and then boys play at 7:30, but it's at the same gym. So it's like, it's like a rivalry game they set up every year. So I'm definitely looking forward to that game most.
So when I was in high school, they had it to where like freshman JV and varsity would play, like triple set games. Is that usually what happens? And the Peoria is just like kind of a special occasion?
Or that Peoria is special. Only that game is special.
Okay. So Andrew Camacho has been on the show. He is a 1,000-point scorer in high school, which is a big achievement. Are you excited to go up against him? Because I'm sure that's going to be one of the guys you're guarding, mainly as one of the guards for your team. Why is that rivalry so special to you? And what can we expect to see from you in that game specifically?
It's just special to me because, it's a school trend we have over here. We always look forward to it. And I just can't wait to go up against Camacho because he's a really good player. And that game, expect to see like a lot of passing, couple scoring, just becoming a leader and just trying to get the win because we definitely got to beat them this year.
Is there any players specifically that you're excited to go up against? Paradise Valley, Ironwood, Willow, Centennial, Apollo. I didn't honestly know Apollo was that good until I looked today at your guys' region and saw, the teams you play up against. Is there any players though you're excited to go up against for your sophomore year?
I don't really look into the players, I just look at my matchup, see who we playing, have anyone I'm excited to go against, to be honest.
I'm glad you're like that because a lot of people would probably come in here and be like, oh, that's my guy. I wanted to go up against him. This guy's, we always get into it on the court. I do want to ask you though, is there anybody you though enjoy watching, when you're not playing, you're just a spectator like me, either at showcases, tournaments, whatever it may be. Is there any players you enjoy watching and try to take pieces of their game on the high school scene away to complement yours?
My two players are definitely Jared McCain and Dusty. Those are my two players I like watching a lot.
How come? Those guys are, I think Jared's a 5-star, Dusty's a 4-star. What makes what they do things you want to be able to use in your game?
Jared McCain, I just like the way he plays as the point guard position. I like the way he passes. I like the way he shoots. He gets to a spot and can knock down a shot from anywhere. And then Dusty, I just like his swagger. The way he plays is just cool,
Yeah, absolutely. That was gonna be my next question for you as well. Is there anybody on the pro level in the league or even in Division I that you try to take pieces of their game and add it to yours?
Definitely Kyrie Irving and Ja Morant, my two players.
Do you got bounce like Ja? I didn't know.
I don't bounce like Ja, but I just like the way he plays.
Okay, so tell me this then. What is it about? I know Kyrie has that. It feels European with how he's able to kind of just like take the one bounce, bring like literally he's like bringing the ball over the shoulder, getting that Euro step over bigs and finishing in ways I've never seen before. And Ja, I'm terrified for my life every time I see him get up in the air because I feel like he's going to either break his back or tear something with how aggressive he is. What things in their game are you hoping or do you appreciate that you want to add to yours?
From Kyrie Irving, definitely his ball handling. He has some ball handling I've never seen before, and I just like the way he dribbles the ball. And then Ja Morant, he just has that dog mentality that like he's just like anytime he steps on the court, he don't care who you are, he's gonna go against you no matter what.
Yeah, he's definitely has that kind of you need to fear me and I'm not gonna fear you. Just look to him every single time. I love how he plays. I love him at Murray. I had a podcast with a buddy who covers the Grizzlies. And I was telling him one time, I'm like, if I were to go back and I was in New Orleans in that draft, I was like, I would take Ja over Zion right now. And that was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So, and even now I probably would still take Ja over Zion. But I want to ask you one of my last ones for you before we get out of here. Some goals for yourself as a player. I know we talked about stats, but I just want to hear some more goals that you have for yourself, and then we'll talk about team goals in a second. But what are goals you're hoping to set for yourself this year, as a player and as a leader for Kellis?
Some more goals, really just like developing my game to its max potential so I can get a lot more college looks, and just trying to, like I said, being a leader and being a passer more of than just trying to score the ball, because there's a lot more than that, you know.
So y'all were 10-16, like we talked about. Had a lot of great players. You got a lot of size. A few seniors have left though, but I'm sure you guys have added new pieces and guys from JV and guys that played on varsity last year. They didn't get a lot of minutes. I'm sure we'll be getting a lot more this year. What goals have you talked about as a team that you guys are hoping to accomplish by the end of the year? And yeah, just some goals as a team you guys have set in place to be able to accomplish this year.
The big main goal is obviously make it to playoffs, because we haven't did that in I don't know how long, to be honest. So make it to playoffs and just come together and play as a team, because at times we like to be selfish. So just playing more as a team in a whole.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, TayVion. One of my last questions for you. Y'all are a Jordan school, it looked like from the videos and the pictures I saw in the uniform, right?
It changes up. We have Jordan and Nike, but
okay,
it
yeah.
changes up.
So you're on the right side of sneakers to be able to wear this year. I've seen a lot of pictures. You got a lot of heat in your Kobe collection, it seems like. What heat will we see, or what's going to be your favorite on-court shoe you feel like this upcoming year?
Definitely it's gonna be some Kobe's, but I don't know which ones I'm gonna get yet. It's definitely gonna be some fire ones. I still haven't figured out which ones I'm gonna get though, but it's definitely gonna be Kobe's.
I told Caden this yesterday. I don't know how, if it's too high on your ankles for you. I had the Kobe 9 Whattas when I played. And I don't know if you've seen those. Those are like one of the coldest Kobe's ever. They're high top, but those are ones I would recommend. I do want to ask you though, you guys are a Nike and Jordan school. Is there a little bit of like confidence, a little bit of cockiness to you guys when you put on the Jordan uniforms? Because not a lot of schools have that out here. So, and they're pretty freaking sick. I'm not going to lie. Is there a certain type of swagger or confidence you guys feel when you put on those jerseys specifically?
Nah, not really. To be honest, we don't even notice. We don't even notice. We just put on whatever they give us. To be honest, like it doesn't really matter to us.
TayVion, I appreciate you coming on, man, and chopping it up with us. Is there anything you want to shout out before we get out of here?
Nah, just thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course, man. Well, I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck. I'm definitely going to have to make it out to that Peoria game this year to see what the rivalry is really like. But I hope you have a great season, man. Wish you nothing but the best, and good luck this year.
Thank you.